Well, good evening, everyone. Michael, soothing here. Tonight, I thought what I would talk to you about is how to go about marrying a Filipina, a foreign national, and what is involved in getting them a green card, a work permit, and citizenship. I'm not going to go into all the details. This won't be a how-to video, just a general overview of our own experience, so you'll have some idea what's involved. If you've watched 90 Day Fiancee and gotten the idea that it's somehow an easy or difficult process, there's some truth to both of those things. It's actually quite a difficult process, let me tell you. But Joanne sent away she has her, she got her work permit, her social security number, and her green card. And so it's a conditional green card. Eventually, they lift the conditions after 2 years, and she'll get a permanent green card, which is good, I think, for 10 years, upon which time, 3 years down the road, she can apply for citizenship. So, she went and bought this U.S. citizenship test study guide, Secrets about how to become a U.S. citizen. And she also bought, she's way ahead of the game because this is at least 4 years away, the citizenship testing thing. She also bought flashcards and even an online audio. Wait, I thought for a second it said online audios. You know, like Adios, America. Yeah. See you later. Citizenship flashcards. Okay. Questions and answers. Interview sample. Provided by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. ICE is telling us how we can help someone become a U.S. citizen. Now, what was involved in getting her here in the first place? In our case, Joanne came on a visitor visa. I went and visited her in Denmark, where she was living at the time. She has lived in Denmark and for several years. And before that, she lived in Sweden for something like 12 years. Before that, she lived in the Philippines. 1 second, please. Just a momentary lapse in concentration. Anyway, she lived in the Philippines until she was a late teenager. Then Sweden, where she got married to a guy from Iran. And he's not in the picture anymore, but she got a wonderful child from that marriage, Maria. Then she divorced. I don't know what the issues were, or even if I did, I wouldn't tell. She remarried someone in Denmark. She moved there and lived there for many years. No, wait, scratch that. She remarried someone in Sweden and continued to live there. And there were some issues, so that marriage didn't succeed either. Then she moved to Denmark, and in Denmark she lived for something like after her second breakup, she lived celibate for 13 or 14 years until she and I met. And now we've been together for a couple of years, but what was involved a couple years ago is I went to Denmark and visited her back to back. Like, I went for some weeks, and then a couple months later I went again. And in the in-between, she came here to visit. Then after I went to Denmark the second time, she came here to the States again. And I gave her a little tour of California and Oregon as I was approaching retirement. Actually, I was already retired. That part of my history is fuzzy. And already retired. But the second time she came, we thought to ourselves, why not just get married, since we believe that's what we're moving towards anyway. And so that's what we did. We went to Vegas and got married. And so that started the ball rolling. But little did I know, I thought the process would be fairly easy after that, of getting her a green card. Boy, was I wrong. First, you've got to get every document known to man that she ever had, every inoculation, transcripts from schools, you name it, she had to dredge it up. And they all had to be translated from either Danish, Swedish, or Filipino. And we had to get things going back to her childhood that we didn't have. And of course, birth certificate, which also had to be translated for a hefty fee. But that was only the beginning. There were long questionnaires to fill out. We had to hire an immigration attorney, and that cost a couple $1,000. We had to fill out ream after ream of stuff. Then they said, you need to go get tested for all kinds of things and diseases, etc., etc. And you have to go to this clinic and that clinic and this lab and this place. All that goes on for a while. And isn't it odd that people are flooding across our southern border without any of this being done? But when you try to do it correctly, okay, the medical tests and all that costs us about $1,200. The filing fee for the work permit, green card, Social Security, all these different forms and things that you go through was many hundreds of dollars. The attorney was a couple grand. And then there was months and months and months of visits to places. We had to go up to Portland. We had to go up to Seattle. She had to renew her Swedish passport in order to continue the process. That had to be done either in Sweden. Luckily, we found a way to do it where, like, a couple times a year you can go to the Swedish embassy up in Seattle, Washington. We had to go for interviews and a follow-up to demonstrate that our marriage was genuine and not a scam, to gain a green card. We had to go over and over to Social Security office. But anyway, I can't remember all of it. It's a blur, but I can tell you it involved many, many thousands of dollars and many, many excursions to many, many places far from where we lived. Some of the lab testing and so forth, we had to go to either Eugene or Roseburg. Then there were multiple trips to Portland and, of course, Seattle. And that all cost a bundle because some of them we had to stay overnight. So that's just the beginning. It didn't take a huge amount of time, about 1 year and a half, something like that. Oh, then we had to pay a giant fat IRS fine because Joanne didn't have Obamacare in 2017. The odd thing was, if you went to we tried to sign her up for Obamacare, and they said, you can't sign up until you complete the Social Security number thing, but that we hadn't gotten to that point yet. So they said, you're not allowed to sign up for this Obamacare. But the IRS said, we're going to penalize you for not signing up for the government-required health care plan. We, the government, say you're not allowed to sign up for it, and since you're not allowed to sign up for it, and you didn't sign up for it, we're going to hit you with a big fat penalty for not signing up for that which we won't let you sign up for. Okay? So there was that. It's a nightmare. Anyway, those are just some of the twists and turns. Then, of course, you have sometime I'll do a video again and talk to you about the cultural differences between Filipinos and Americans. We have gotten through the toughest times already and worked out a good relationship now. We had a few rocky moments trying to figure out some of those things that you do early in your marriage. But now Joanne's on path. We have a great, love relationship and really appreciate each other. And now she's on a path to, all right, I'm excited about becoming a citizen someday. I'm going to start studying in advance. So what's in the study guide? I'm curious to see for myself. U.S. citizenship secrets. There are secrets involved, you see. What are those secrets? I don't know. Your key to exam success. This is quite recent because it's copyright 2019. Your success is our success, it says. Introduction. She must have started reading this already because she dog-eared the introduction page. See there? So I believe she just started it. I guess the intro was tough. In this guide, we will show you every question you might be asked on the test. Oh, that's cool. There are 2 parts to the citizenship test. I wonder if all of us would pass if we had to go in and take it. I suspect about 2/3 of the U.S. citizen students that were passing out of high school with a diploma would fail this citizenship test, but that's just my guess. 2 parts to the citizenship test. The English test, she'll pass that with flying colors because she's very fluent already in English. They teach it in the Philippines, and almost all Filipinos from the city are quite fluent. Some of those from the provinces are not. But if you've seen any of her videos, Scorpio NYT is her YouTube channel name. She makes ASMR mukbang. I'll try to remember to link her in the description. Anyway, you'll see she speaks very fluent English, but she does some interesting things with her accent, which I mimic sometimes on my channel because I like the way she pronounces certain words like sugar, right? And sometimes her words make more sense in a way, how she pronounces them, because she has learned to speak English phonetically. So instead of saying oven, which is an is a U sound, right? Well, there's no U in oven, is there? She says oven because it's an O. The word starts with an O. So that makes more sense, doesn't it? And she has many words like that. And I like that sort of spice, flavor in her language and accent. Of course, she has a really pleasing voice also. About the best ASMR voice I've ever heard, but I can't get her to speak soft-spoken. She does her videos all whispering and mostly mukbang. Maybe some of you could go comment and convince her to do more soft-spoken video and more variety of ASMR genre. But anyway, 2 parts to the citizenship test: English and civics. The civics part, I'll have to help her figure out. All right, what's in the civics test? During your interview, they have an interview to get their citizenship. You will be asked to read 3 sentences so the interviewer can verify you are able to read English acceptably well. Okay, she's gonna have no problem there. And then it shows a list of words, that they should be able to say. Names and sounds and words that you can see there. It's things like, by the way, most of you prefer a camera down angle when I'm reading stuff. When I ask that question, the majority prefer it that way. And that's the way I'm going to do most of my future videos, if it's magazine material or things. But today I feel like just sort of summarizing. There's no real graphics in this book, just written stuff. To test your writing ability, you will be given up to 3 sentences in English, and you must successfully write out at least one of the 3 sentences in order to pass. The content of the reading and writing will focus on U.S. history and civics topics. All right, like I said, she's going to have no trouble at all with that part. I have practice reading sentences right here. We can come here for Independence Day. These are real simple, so I don't think you would have too much trouble if you know English. Who are the state senators? Okay, reading it's easy, but like I said, most of our high school grads and probably most of our college grads would fail when it comes to the civics part of this book. Well, they got a lot of practice writing, reading in English, but let's see what happens when we get to the civics part. American government in the United States. The government gets its power to govern from the people. Oh yeah? Sometimes it seems like the government thinks they get their power from the government, okay? Rather than from the people. But anyway, we have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Okay, I won't make a political commentary on that. Citizens in the United States shape their government and its policies, etc. And it talks about the founders. It talks about principles of American democracy. What is the supreme law of the land, by the way? Hopefully you are aware. It is the U.S. Constitution, which of course is coming under fire. When was it written, though? Do you know? What year? Neither do I. Okay, I said 1786. But it turns out I was off by a year. 1787. Because she read this to me the other day. We only got through a couple pages. But 1 year, that's not so bad, right? I was close. Anyway, this talks about representative democracy, you know, a republic. The Constitution says, "We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union," this would be good for marriage vows, you know, a more perfect union. "We the male and female," or whatever gender is there a scale now, like 100 male down to 0 in the middle, and then 100 female on the other end of the scale, so you can target your gender amount, you know, I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm so off topic. "We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility," I like this for marriage vows, "provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty." Okay, so if it looks like my monologue was cut short, I turned orange and I have a different shirt on. It's not just your imagination, because, as is my usual custom, I allowed the Tascam batteries to die, and therefore I was filming with no audio, unbeknownst to myself. So I don't know where we left off in this book. And I missed a lot of stuff, or I should say you missed a lot of stuff that I was talking about. But I can't remember what, and I'm too lazy to go back and check the other section of this video. So instead I'll just say that we are in the future going to make a special video to review everything in this book and see whether you and me and the average high school or college grad could pass a citizenship physics test, okay? Probably not is the answer to that question for many. Did you guys get the part where I was talking about the American Indian, the indigenous tribes? Because I think that's about where I left off in here. But we'll go back and revisit that in the future. I was talking about, I have the same lighting as I had before, exactly, and all the same settings, yet now I see in the little LCD finder over here that I'm orange. Why is that? I have been eating carrots lately, but not enough to turn orange, okay, to have beta carotene. But just for an example, they ask you stuff like this. There were 13 original states, first colonies and then states. Name 3 of them. Can you name 3? I would say, oh, we have a ghost here. We have a poltergeist. What did the ghost show you? It looked like a yam or something, but it's actually a mango. A very yellow mango. And nice and ripe. I can't squeeze it right now or it's gonna, pop or something. 3 states. Oh, I can't look. I'm gonna say New Hampshire and Virginia. That's where my ancestors are from. And have you watched that show on PBS called Jamestown about the original Virginia colony? I believe it's highly fictionalized, but it's still quite interesting. Loosely based on, stuff that was going on back then. Okay, what did I just say? New Hampshire, Virginia, and let's say Massachusetts. Now let's see what the list says. Well, New Hampshire's there, Massachusetts is there, and Virginia's there, so I did okay. The others, can you name them? There was South Carolina, New Jersey, Georgia, and Pennsylvania. New York, of course. Delaware. Is there really a state, Delaware, in the United States? Because I never hear of any news from there. I hear of things happening in all the other states, but never in Delaware. So I'm a little suspicious of whether it really exists. But anyway, where did I see the American Indian tribes in here? And I was reading them to you and talking about them. Now we're going to have to wait until the video where I go through this in detail. What about the 3 major branches of government in the United States system? According to a certain person who gets a lot of press these days, whose initials are AOC, the 3 branches of government are Congress, the Senate, and the presidency. So that goes to show how you can become a congressperson and not even know question 1 about the 3 major branches of government. One of which, of course, is the judiciary, the Supreme Court, okay? But anyway, enough of that. We don't want to talk politics. We can actually look through this book in the future and not say anything that's really about current politics. We can talk about politics from the past, maybe, back during the founding of the nation. But before we go on and do a video like that someday, here we have our citizenship flashcards. And I think these are going to be interesting to look through. I will help Joanne by giving her quizzes with the flashcards. Let's pull them open and look at a few and see what kind of questions they ask. What's this here? There's something in here, a little cheat sheet or something. Or is this? Let's see what it says. Support material. Citizenship flashcards.us. right there. They even have online audios to help you figure this out. Day 1. Oh, they give you a suggested 20-day study guide. So tell you which questions to look at each day. Let's see what some of them are. See if we know any of the answers. Oh, I almost dropped them all over the floor. It looks like the questions are on the blue side of the card and the answers are on the red side of the card. I wonder if they did that to be clever, because we have what's known as blue states and red states. I still find it disturbing that I look yellow-orange tonight in this lighting. Oh well. I'm just going to pull these at random. I haven't looked at them yet to see what they are or what the answers may be. So let's go through a couple together. Question 25. Why do some states have more representatives than others? I think the answer is because some are just lucky. No, wait. It's probably something to do with the population. The number of residents is tied to the population. Let's see what the answer is. You get to see it first. Because of the state's population. Because they have more people. Some states have more people. Isn't that 3 ways of saying the same thing? Okay. Let's try another one. That one I didn't like the same answer showing up 3 times. We elect, question 26. We elect a president for how many years? Well, depending on whether you're a Democrat or a Republican and who's in office at the time, or maybe you're some other party, or an independent, libertarian or green or whatever, the answer for you is probably going to be, we elect a president for way too many years. Is that the answer? But I think the answer might be 4 years, right? Let's see. Yeah, 4. Gee, they didn't answer it 3 times, like put a little number 4 and then say FOUR and then say 1, 2, 3, 4 years. So I don't know why they did that. The other question. Question 27. In what month do we vote for president? Well, I'm not to be critical of the folks who put these questions together, but I'm not sure that's essential knowledge. Well, maybe it is, as far as telling people when they should go vote when they're new citizens, you know. So of course that's November, but let's double check just to make sure. Yep, November. All right. What is the name of the President of the United States now? You know, I've seen these man-on-the-street interviews from time to time where they ask people the name of the vice president, or they ask them to name, say, 3 Supreme Court justices, and the people can't do it. But I think everyone knows who the president is, so wait, do they say? Oh, they do. These must be very current cards. Oh, look. 3 answers again. I didn't know we had a triune presidency, but apparently we do. Trump, Donald Trump, and Donald J. Trump are all co-presidents. Maybe because he has a pretty large ego, he has to be 3 persons in a presidency. No, I'm not talking politics, okay? So, anyway, what is the name of the Vice President of the United States now? Do you guys know? I'm terrible with names, but I know it rhymes with fence, okay? All right. If the president, question 30, if the president can no longer serve, who becomes president? I think that's, of course, vice president. Let's verify and make sure it is true. I'm tired of president questions. Can't we move on? Here we are. I skipped a bunch to try to find something different. What are two rights in the Declaration of Independence? Well, there's life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness. I think those are three rights, at least. Let's see what they say. There's several others, of course, in the Declaration of Independence, or in the Bill of Rights, I should say. I named three, and those are the three: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This reminds me, because it's the way my perverted mind works, of an old joke where an Italian guy says to the young couple in Italy who just got married, as far as the pursuit of happiness, he says, "I wish you a penis forever," okay? Anyway, happiness, right? Okay, so what is the economic system of the United States? Not quite sure what the economic system is. I'm gonna say we're free market capitalist with some socialist tendencies, but I don't think they're going to characterize it that way. So they're probably just gonna say capitalist or free market in the answer, even though we're kind of a mix of two or three or four things. So let's see what they say for the answer. Capitalist economy, market economy. You don't want just pure capitalism, because then you concentrate too much power in the hands of corporations and the wealthy. And you don't want, free markets are good, but you do need some regulation to keep from exploiting some segments of the population. Like back in the era of the coal mines, right? You don't really want 12-year-olds getting black lung in coal mines just because they're willing to work there for 30 cents an hour during the Depression. So you need kind of a combination of things in an economy. That noise you hear is rain starting, because we do live in Oregon, and it's starting to rain on the skylight not far from me, the kitchen. So I'm gonna wrap this up because it's really late and I have to get my sleep, So, and I have to shower first. You need to climb into bed really clean, especially if you're married to OCD Filipina who insists on absolute hygienic cleanliness every moment of every day. So, I'm kind of tired, or I wouldn't be making strange off-the-wall comments, but sleepy tonight. It's been a long day. It's about midnight right now, guys. All right, that will wrap it up for now. So until next time, don't ASMR and drive. My apologies if this video, try to get these straight, if this video is a little bit disjointed. I'll be back again at a future time. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.